Did you know that Australians are at risk of having to sweat through more than 2 weeks of extreme heat per year? The figure comes from Australia's first ever climate risk assessment, which dropped on Monday. The report said that while we get an average of about 4 days of extreme heat per year, if the global warming level reaches 3 degrees Celsius, we could be experiencing up to 18 days of extreme heat. Now, what is extreme heat? Well, extreme heat days are when the average Australian temperature is in the top 1% of records. So, how's Australia and the world overall doing in warming? Well, the global warming level sits at about 1.2 degrees Celsius, while Australia is at about 1.5 degrees Celsius above the pre industrial average temperature from the late 1800s. The report said that extreme heat resulting in bushfires and poor air quality from smoke would escalate health risks, with those with pre-existing health conditions, younger and older people, and those who have to work outside more vulnerable than others. I spoke with Dr. Christopher Leung, an Eastern Melbourne-based gastroenterologist and the deputy chair of Doctors for the Environment Australia, and he told me that Melbourne's health system was already under extreme stress during the 2019-2020 Black Summer bushfires.
Going back to the bushfires that happened just before COVID. So I'm a gastroenterologist, so I do emergency procedures at various hospitals. And during the bushfires, not only was I sort of choking on the smoke outdoors, and my children was also choking on the smoke outdoors, but I entered the theatre, and to my shock and absolute dismay, I could not use the emergency theatre because of the smoke. Smoke would overcome the filters. In a hospital where you need to do life-saving procedures and surgery, it was at that point that I absolutely realised this is directly affecting how I deliver healthcare.
Dr. Leung told me that his main advice for Eastern Melburnians as extreme heat days become more prevalent is to stay cool, stay hydrated, use shade and fans as much as possible if you're outside, and go to public places with aircon if you don't have it at home. He also told me that the dangers of being outside in periods of extreme heat, even for just a few short hours, could be potentially life-threatening.
The figure is that there will be 1 billion climate refugees within 50 years. So by 2070, billions of people, it won't be safe to stay outdoors for more than 2 hours a day. That's how extreme heat can directly affect us. It can cause heat exhaustion. So that's when your body temperature goes up more than 38 degrees. You don't have enough sort of fluid in the body to just sweat it out. You get nausea, vomiting, headache, the fainting. And then heat stress is when you sort of feel uncomfortable in the heat, you get weak, tired, crampy, and dizzy. And then when you get heat stroke, that's when you get very high internal body sort of temperatures, more than 40.5 degrees Celsius. You get confused, reduced alertness, you get this red, hot, burning, hot, dry skin. Heat stroke can quickly become life-threatening. You can die from it. Overheating worsens the symptoms of other chronic diseases. So if you've got heart problems, lung and kidney disease, it puts an extra strain on those organs. Mental health is also affected with extreme heat.